Good day from WA. Hi, this is Julie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Margarete Miller. Number 17 this week. I'm a bit late starting, but yeah, we're going to get going. Okay, it looks like we're starting with the prompts this week. I don't know why, we're doing it backwards. 2022 CWP 17. Something round, a piece of map, a shoe. Oh, I think I've only got one shoe. Tool your grandparents would have used, a postal item, and the bonus is one of the elements torn apart. Okay, well, that's the things that that's what we're supposed to be looking for this week. Oh, this is the old book. I picked out the wrong book. Oh, it looks like we're doing a quick flip through of last year's Margarete Miller. Oh, isn't that funny? Okay. Oh, there you go. Quick flip through last year's. Oh yeah, that's right. We had the girl on the last year. Oh well. This is this year's. That's weird that I didn't notice. All right. So quick flip through of this year's Margarete Millers so far. So all the ones I showed you in that previous book and this book are available as separate videos on their collages. And yep, lots of different ones. And 16 was last week. Very colourful. I'm not sure. Yeah, this week's might be colourful as well. Because we're going back into a tool your grandparents would have used, there might be some elements of days gone by. And I haven't got my jelly prints out yet, but I did think I might like to do jelly prints in the background, so it may be another colourful one. So we'll see. Well, let's have a look. Let's put that aside for the moment. Let's have a look and see what elements I've got. So I found this in my basket. It was one that I didn't use before. It came from this magazine. And we had cancelled her because we don't like green. Well, we cancelled her for other reasons. But there is also a black and white version of her. And the reason why I got her out was that when I think of my granny, she used to always knit. She taught me to knit. And I wanted knitting needles. Well, I can't find a picture of knitting needles anywhere. There's a few sewing items and some knitting. So this is an old magazine. I don't know if it's from the 50s. But obviously it would be from my granny's era at some point in time. But yeah, she used to knit. So I wanted knitting needles, because I mean, I know we still use them now. Well, some people, there she is. There's a black and white version of her. So I don't know which one I want to use. But I was hoping there might be something that looks like knitting needles in here, but no, it doesn't appear to be. So, no to that. Well, okay, so that's a bit annoying, unless I have to draw them. So looking for something, what are we looking for? Something our grandparents would have used. I'm doing it in the wrong order, because really that's probably going to be the main element, or the focal element, based on what the choices are, because something round is not really a focal point usually. Yeah, I've lost it at the moment. Yeah, well, hopefully it'll turn up. So I'm looking for something that a tool that grandparents would have used. And there's also postal elements, so we can keep those out in case you fancy those. I was thinking about an iron, you know, the old flat irons. My granny would have definitely used a flat iron, one that you just heated it on the, you know, the black stoves and then did your ironing. Or all these alarm clocks, stopwatches, yeah, any of those things. My granny, there's a shoe there. I think that's the only shoe I've got. It's a bit more like a boot, isn't it? It's still a sort of a shoe. Yeah, I don't think I've got very many shoes. I'll keep that out. Alarm clock, is that a tool? Not really. Oh, it's more shoes, but no, a bit too modern looking if I'm going to go with the old-fashioned era. Yeah, this type of iron is what I'm thinking that my granny would have used. She might have used a sewing machine like that, maybe. A radiogram may have used something like that. Might have used a washboard in the early days. All my grandparents would have been born in that early 1900s era. I was thinking that kind of radio is quite nice. They might have had a radio like that at some stage. Is it a tool though? That's the question. Telephones. Oh, there's some nice shoes. I like those. If I'm doing granny, then maybe you have some women's shoes. Alright, so that's gone through that book and that one. Didn't find very many things. I thought there'd be more. And I've got some postal items. These are the other postal, but I can get more postal items. Once I decide on the style and the colour, then I can choose a postal item. So we've got postal item and shoes there. We've got plenty of map page stuff. So all my map stuff was together because we did a map recently somewhere. Margarete Miller, I think, a few weeks ago. So all these maps were left over and just put together from then. So I've got a sort of an older looking one. But it depends if you want some colour. Quite like that one. Well, that one's quite good because that's where my granny came from. Yorkshire. We'll use this one. Okay, so we've got map, shoe, postal item. I liked these because they're colourful. Balloons are generally round-ish shaped. And I liked the colours, and I thought these colours might go if I choose a colourful jelly print. A map and a round globe with a round postage looking thing in the background. I've never used that, so yeah, we might see if we can use that. And these round elements were in my basket. And when I think of granny, I always think of roses, so this popped out too. So as usual, make that into a project. Okay, let's get started. We're doing number 17. We're doing something round. I mean, I really fancy these balloons and they're quite colourful. Maybe this one doesn't really work for balloons being round, and neither does that one really. We'll put those in the basket up there. So we've got 3, so we can use 1 or 2 on this page and 1 on that page maybe. Alright, so we're having that as something round. So we were thinking of having this one, which is basically Yorkshire. Oh, we could have the balloons landing on Yorkshire. And if we take the top of that off. So we've got something round and we've got something, and we've got a map. A shoe. Okay, well I think it's a possibility. Tool your grandparents would have used. Well, I don't actually have that, do I? I just have the idea of it. Knitting. That's not really a tool though, is it? It's the outcome of the tool. Alright, so what I did was went to Canva and just printed a whole bunch of different kinds of knitting. So I've got a few to choose from there. Yeah. So picked out the bluish type ones, so we can use one of those when we're ready for it. So what else are we up to? That's a tool your grandparents would have used. A postal item. I don't really like any of these too much. What have we got here? Well, since we're doing balloons, none of those. Oh, this one. Here we are, postcard with a balloon. I like this one. Oh, it's not another balloon on that one. 2 postcards. Oh, we've got a green jumper and a blue knitting. Kind of want a blue. No, let's not use her. Now, I'm wondering whether we can use this one and colour in her jumper. Let's fussy cut her out. Is she going to be big enough? Oh yeah, I can get most of her in. Cut off the bottom part. Let's just try that. Make sure I'm not... Oh, this is knitted too. Knitted scarf. Do I like her better? Maybe I like this one better. Of course, once I choose... Oh, it's too hard. But if I cut her off at the bottom, I could still decide on one or the other. Cut her off. Is it? I'll cut off here. Does that work for that one? Yep, perfect for that side. Because I can't make a commitment just yet. And yeah, we can cut them both off at the top. And yep, both off at the side. And we can flip over. I think she might be a bit too big. I might just like to round the corners of those. So I've got 2 postcards, a pair of shoes. So I think we're going to have to use this lady. I'll cut her out. A becoming set of caps, scarf and gloves. Just like real Persian lamb. I don't know if we need to keep that or not, but we're just cutting it out for now. Okay, well, maybe we don't have the big blue balloon. Looks like we're not having... Oh, we need something not so blue. There's those ones. Knitting needles. I don't know if I need that. So we might have one postcard on one and one on the other. How about that? Not having that shoe. Okay, I'll have those 3. I have a rose just because I like them. Of course, I'm just watching the the War of the Roses series on Netflix called, I think it's The White Queen. I don't know if it's all true. I haven't checked. I don't want to look up history until I've watched the series because I don't want to know what happens because I don't know who wins. So I don't know my English kings and queen history enough to know who wins. So I thought that I would yeah, wait and see. So I just want to leave our area where we came from out. So there's Dewsbury, Leeds, there. So we came from all around here. Well, we came from here. So we'll leave that showing. We'll decide where the rose goes. Interesting, because we've ended up with a kind of a yellow background rose with the red tinge to it, so we could have that as a mixture of the white and the red roses. Quite like the idea of still having some jelly print, and I don't really want all that blue, so kind of going off the blue concept. It's going more vintage coloured, so I'm just going to cut the map out and cut most of the blue off. Alright, let's start again and pop that over this side this time. So she can go there. So I just might like something colourful in the background. I've got the round balloon with a round clock. Everything's been sort of cut, so I might have to 5:10. Cut the blue off this one. Okay, so let's have a look at what bit of nice collage paper we might like. I do still quite like that one. I think that goes with the colours quite nicely. A bit too plain. Is that piece? But I need something quite so big. Yellow, a bit too yellow. No. That's quite nice. That's a bit too abstract. Too pink. Okay, one of these. Quite like this one, I think, because this one looks a bit like old-fashioned wallpaper. So as you can see, I got myself a 5x7 plate. Let me know if you want me to do any more jelly plate videos. Mum says it's boring. So we'll need other people. If you want me to do more, I mean, I've been doing it for myself, but if you want me to do more jelly plate videos, then you'll have to let me know, and if there's a few people, I'll do it. But Mum says it's boring when you don't have a jelly plate. True, it would be. So we'll put that one over there and that one over here, maybe. Decide how we're doing that. Oh, we've got to tear something in half. I don't know what I'll tear at this stage. It'll have to be the map, I think. So it's not really, it says one of the elements, and so it has to be, this is just background. We can't really just count that. Okay, what we might do is tear it in half, because this part here is Yorkshire. Let's see if we can get, I don't know how far Yorkshire goes up. Let's see if it tells me. I think Richmond's still in Yorkshire. Around about here, I'm going to guess. Tear that. Torn apart. It doesn't have to be in half then. That's got Nottingham on, so we're going to, pretty sure that's not Yorkshire. We're going to get rid of Manchester. And Derby, I'm sure is in Derbyshire, so let's get rid of that. So it's been torn apart, and now we're left with most of Yorkshire, I think. How about that? You can use those pieces over there. Okay, and so now we can use, might need some more jelly plate, I don't know. Or we could just do some stenciling in the background. We want to put her on this piece. It's not quite big enough. I can always cut a bit more off the bottom. Let's do that. Let's just try this point here. And just maybe just put her on that piece. Well, her elbow's kind of cut off anyway, so let's just cut a bit more of it off. And that becomes her background. Postcard and a balloon, so there are round elements that have gone a bit oval. Shoe, a pretty rose. Have this over here. Maybe put that on there because that's the instructions on knitting. Pop that in there. Pop that on top of it. So is that all of the elements? Something round. Piece of a map, a shoe, a tool your parents use, grandparents use, postal mark, and one of the items is torn apart. Well, torn apart would mean that you've got the other half, so let's put something that was the other half on here. So I'm going to pop that under there because that's torn apart. I'm going to pop that half down here and that half up here. Okay, we still haven't got a background. I like this background. Have we got anything like that? Any more of that? I don't think we have. Okay, or we could have used that one. And use this one over here. This one kind of matches. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I'll have the matching one over here. Okay, so I think that we can glue those 3 background pieces down, except that we want this to come underneath, and we do want some inking. I think we probably do. Let's go. I'll go around and ink everything. Let's put these big pieces down first. So they're just quite simply going to go on the page like that. Now before I put the other elements on, I think I might like to do some stenciling. So I like postcard instead of the French version because we're doing English. I like the idea of the rose. We might have a rose up here. And we'll see if we need those extra. So I'm going to put postcard up there. I might do that in vintage ink. Yep, and then maybe one over here. Over here maybe. It won't all get seen, but that's okay. And maybe one down here. Okay, just light in the brown. Now circles, I'd like to pick out some of these blues and greens. Sage colour, maybe that would work as the green. Let's try some of that. We're going to do some circles. I'll start here so I can see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks like the same colour and it looks quite pale, so let's do that. Let's make it go off the page a bit. Oh, cool. Can't actually see it until you take the stencil away. That's quite subtle-ish. Maybe we won't go all the way around. I tend to go everywhere, don't I? Let's just do, maybe we'll change the colour in places. Just a bit there. And let's try, I was thinking this bisque to start with, as a kind of like similar to the background. It's got a touch of brown in it at the moment. Let's try and blend it over the two pages a little bit. Okay, and some of the pink. Now this might be a bit dark, so let's just see. Ooh, yes, it is rather. Hopefully that gets covered up for the most part by the... Not too bad. Try to get the most of it off before I put it on there. Okay, very round, very pink, but it's okay. I like the overlappingness of it. Did I do this before? I don't know, I feel like I've done it already. I feel like I did this recently. Oops, it's a bit dark. I didn't really want it that dark on the there, it doesn't matter. Alright, dotty, a little bit of pink up here. Oops, didn't mean to do it there, so dark. Not to worry. Just fade it out a bit. Okay. It's pink. Can't help it with my pink. Right. There we go, dots, circles, filled up the page. I did want the rose. Okay, should we have the rose? Oh, what if I did the rose? No, it won't work. Do the rose here. I'm going to put it a little bit dark in the middle. Okay, and then add the sage for the stem. For some reason or other it went pink. Not too sure why. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's done now. So this is going on here. This one's going on there. Oh, that was meant to go underneath. Well, maybe it won't matter because she's going on here. And then that's coming here. It was going down there, but maybe not now. Maybe we'll put it up here. So she's got Leeds and Wakefield and all those places where we came from here. And we're going to have our rose over here. The shoes, for no apparent reason. And this goes over here because this is the other torn bit. Torn apart. Forgot to stencil this side. Darn. Gotta go through the whole process again. Every time. Oh, and our needles. Knitting needles go here. Because we've got this scarf. Becoming set of cap scarf, and so the person knitted, someone knitted those. Alright, so what we can glue down probably is this. I'm just going to tear that end off because it's just going to get in the way and be annoying anyway. Just going to pop that down there, pop that right on that edge of there, like that. There. That's where that goes. I'll glue her down. And then we have a rose. I'm just going to go there. Postcard. I think the postcard was going under here. Unfortunately, like that. So we better glue that next. The knitting needles go on this side too. Cover up the fact that our arm's cut off slightly. Alright, let's pop these down and then we'll do some more stenciling to sort this side out, or we could just leave it as it is. I'm not too sure yet. Let's just glue this one down first. Okay, so now I just have to do the circle stenciling again. So we're going to start with a bit of the sage green. Apparently it's got pink on it. I don't know why. Did I use the wrong one? Or else the pink's coming off the stencil. That happens sometimes. If you don't use a fresh part of the stencil, you don't clean the stencils, as I don't very often. Well, it's kind of a mixture of the colours, so I don't think it matters too much. We've gone dotty, or at least going round in circles, something along those lines. Going to take something to give it a bit of a shadow, maybe some of this brown. That's broken. No, that's tricky. Okay, not too sure where it cut off. I think it did cut off, but I was just sort of going around the edges of the elements. With this colour pencil, just to sort of give them definition. So I've gone around the lady, knitting needles, the postcard, the balloon, the shoes, the matte pieces on both sides. I did the dots or the circles. I'm not going to go around the background pieces. I don't want to highlight those too much, but I do think I might like to use this brown, and that's where I looked up and the camera had gone off because it ran out of space on my phone. So yeah, we're just going to do it lightly, give it a bit of a frame. On this side. Okay, I'm not sure that I'm going to go around the other sides. So smooth that out a bit. There we go. Alright, might be close to finished. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do. Ooh, that's making it worse. Okay. Yep. Something you don't want to always do. Just run around with your wet wipe on with watercolor pencils. So no choice now but to make it look like it's real or intended. Okay. Definitely looking vintage now, isn't it? It's just a bit too much here, that's all. Didn't quite mean for it to be quite so muddy. So we might have to pop some pinker colour on top to sort of fade out that colour a bit. So I don't like this, so we're going to pop something on there, not too sure what. We've got this clock. We could have a balloon. Quite like, let's just have the balloon. Thing about collages, if you don't like it, cover it up with something. Sometimes it's easier to cover it up with paper than it is to cover it up with paint. And it matches that balloon over there, so let's put that down. It's floating in to land into Yorkshire, which I'm sure hot air balloons landed all the time. Not. I'm not going to use any liquid around it though. Don't want to make more mud. I did say I didn't want to wet the brown because it will make mud. It did, but anyway, I think we saved it. And there's nothing wrong with that balloon being there. It's something else that's round and it's nice and colourful. A few more circles here, just to kind of balance up the heat up here, to sort of make it look like it's meant to be like that. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do. Maybe some down here. There we go. All right, we have our hashtag 2022 CWP 17. Something round. We now have a balloon, another balloon, some round postage marks, another balloon, and lots of circles in the background. As a piece of map, we've got Yorkshire and some other pieces of the map over here. Shoe, we have this shoe here. Tool the grandparents would have used, well, my granny would have used knitting needles, and she might have knitted herself a scarf. I don't know about a hat, but this was the pattern for knitting this hat, scarf and gloves. Postal item, we have these faux postcards with postage stamps on there, and the bonus is one of the elements torn apart. Well, I tore up the map and put pieces all over the place and edged it with, highlighted the pieces with the brown watercolor pencil and a little bit of the chalk around the edge. So I think we're done. That's it for me. Please check out all the others. Check out Leigh's. I've already seen Leigh's collage. It's really lovely, and Kay's. I've watched those two so far. I'm sure I'll watch the others as well. So check out hashtag 2022 CWP17 to see all the other creations, and also check out our Doodle challenge. I'll leave the playlist for our Doodle challenge and our collage challenge in the description box below, and it's not too late to join. If you'd like to see more about the Doodle challenge, we have a playlist, and Leigh and I are the co-hosts, and we have got videos out explaining what you have to do. And for April, the prompt is curvy swirly lines, so nothing too difficult. You can do neurographics or just circles and spirals and swirls. Yeah, it's pretty easy. But check out the videos in hashtag 2022 Doodle Challenge APR for April, and you'll see some others are already out there. All you have to do is use the hashtag to get your video into the hashtag playlist. Let us know that you've done a video. List mine and Leigh's channels as co-hosts, and link us in your description box. Yeah, and then just make a comment on our videos to let us know that you've done your doodle challenge. Same with the collage challenge, that was out a couple of weeks ago. The same deal, except the hashtag is 2022 collage challenge APR. So we have 2 challenges running once a month, and it's an open collaboration, so anyone can join. If you like doodling or collaging, there's something there for everyone. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.